Great. And I don't know the natives.
The Native Americans here were the
Yeah.
Lenape.
Okay. Lenapes. Okay.
Mhm.
And there's Carol Laverdure. Hello. Maybe I'll ask Kathleen first. Well, Carolyn, are you with the Coastal Salish or where?
No, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, so we're with the Ohlone peoples.
Okay. And
And I'm a
maybe,
Kikin are my pronouns.
yeah, we've got another. Evan is here. Good. So what about your area? Nathan, do you know?
Yeah, there's a number of different peoples. In my particular, like in my neighborhood, it was primarily the Peoria, which is ironic because I'm about 2.5 hours away from Peoria, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And did I ask Carol? Do you know your native peoples? You're muted, Carol.
The Abenakis
Nice. Where are you?
in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Okay. So we've got some East Coast people, West, Northern and West. Kathleen, how about you? Do you know where you are?
Oh, I'm in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, but I'm not sure of the native people, which I will look up as soon as this is over.
Okay. Okay. It's we'd like to know. Now, we have Evan? Did Evan leave and Tina's not with us? Hello. Maybe Tina's saving her bandwidth. Well, I guess I'm gonna get this show on the road. I am glad you're here. I'm glad you're with us. I want to share my screen and I shall. All right. Can you see my
Yes.
screen? Okay. All right. So I wanted to just draw your attention to creation spirituality communities is the big umbrella over a whole lot of events. This is just one of them. This one only happens maybe every 6 weeks. I do a labyrinth walk for lots of reasons on the cross days. That means in Celtic spirituality, that's where this comes from. The solstices and the equinoxes, and then this is a cross quarter day. So in between, this Lammas comes between the for us summer. If we were down under, it would have been the winter equinox. I'll just say the June solstice, and then the next big event is the equinox in September. Yeah. So that's where we are. And I'm going to start with a land acknowledgement. And just about ready here. Okay. It's a way, to me, it's a prayerful way of beginning. I learned this idea from Diane Longboat. Kahuntakwas is her native name. She's a Haudenosaunee, that is a Mohawk elder of the Turtle Clan. And she teaches that an invocation of thanks should be done before anything important is started. And I devote a big part of my life to labyrinths. I think coming together like this makes us a little island of coherence. I think that's very important. I'm glad you're here. And then I further learned from Robin Wall Kimmerer, who is a Potawatomi botanist, and she's an author, and she's also the director of the Center for Native Peoples and the Environment at the State University of New York. College of Environmental Science and Forestry. And she has this lovely teaching about kinship. She has many lovely teachings, but this one kinship begins with paying attention to all of the more than human beings around us. And when we do this, we develop a gift thinking, seeing how truly blessed we are. And that leads us to gratitude. Then we're very thankful for these gifts. And we think of these beings as our kin. And I'm sure you've heard some native prayers talk about tree people or winged people. They actually refer to various animals and plants as people because they're that real. They're in that much of a relationship. And so therefore, we want to pay more attention to these more than human beings, and the beautiful cycle continues. So, because labyrinths, and we are connected to place, wherever we are, this earth and the entire universe, and to one another. We want to deepen this connection now, and we begin by walking the first path of creation spirituality with an attitude of gratitude. So I honor the cosmos. And from the Thanksgiving address of the Mohawks, I love these sentences. Let us put our minds together as one and send greetings and thanks to our Mother Earth, who sustains our lives with her many gifts. I look north to the earth of which I'm made. I look east to the air within my lungs. I look south to the warmth of the sacrificing sun that provides us with photosynthesis and plants. I look west to water, without which I would die. The stars above me provided the dust which formed the calcium of my bones. The minerals, microbes, and mycelial systems beneath me provide unseen grounding and essential communication. The soul within me yearns to acknowledge and come into balance with the web of which I am just a tiny part. I am so grateful. I honor the plant beings and the animal beings. I honor indigenous peoples before we begin, for their memory is the correct starting point for human history on Earth. They were the original custodians of this land. They held ceremony for eons. And in central Virginia, I'm not sure you could see her name here. I honor Chief Diane Shields of the Monacan Nation in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Biosphere. They're the largest tribe in Virginia today. And I regret that you had to fight in US courts to define your ancestral homeland. Thank you for your wisdom. I honor the entire Blue Ridge ecoregion. I invite the ancestral spirits to guard and bless this circle, this studying, this praying, this meditating. I invite the angels of light to safeguard all walkers all of us, and all seekers. And I thank the great mystery who conceived this, who became this, and who remains with us. We are so grateful. And so today, we're practicing, or we're celebrating Lammas. The celebration is of the fourth path, as you well know. And Lammas comes from an old English word. When I looked at it, I could actually kind of say it, but it means loaf mass. And it's a celebration of the first harvest. That's why I chose, behind all of our slides, there's the grain, some kind of grain. So what they would actually do, well, it's from a celebration of their the ancient pagan sky god Lugh. At least I think that's how you say it, Lugh. And now, of course, we're beginning that. I'm sure you've noticed just from the solstice, June 21st or so, we have less light during the day, a little later dawn and a little earlier sunset. So they wanted to celebrate. This is the sky god sort of leaving little by little, but he wanted them to know that I'm not leaving you. I've left myself in the grain, which will sustain you while I'm gone. Isn't that beautiful? And doesn't that remind you of some other things we perhaps screw up with in certain other traditions? So why is it important? Oops, I don't think I wanted to do that. The first cuttings of the grain crops provide food for the upcoming winter. They would actually go out in the morning, like this morning, and collect the grain and thresh it, I guess, and make it into bread. So they would have bread and they would have grain to make bread for the rest of the year. So this was particularly concerned with grain. But they also saved some because the cuttings provided the seed necessary to plant the crop the following spring. And I didn't know that until I started researching for this walk. This combination guarantees the continuance of the people. The present people have food to eat, but they're saving the seeds. It's a very sustainable system. I was really happy about that, to learn that. So regarding the four paths, let me do something over here. There we go. Okay. We have already started with our thanks. We can be in awe of such continuity. And early peoples were very much aware of the necessity of doing this. We can, as we walk into the labyrinth, release our pain when we think about the food insecurity and starvation, particularly in areas like Gaza and Darfur. And we are beginning now more and more to enter the darkness. And the darkness is a very good place for incubating. It doesn't have to be scary or sad. When we reach the center of the labyrinth, we can receive new eyes to see our part, our co-creative part of interdependency and respect with this web, this intricate web of life. And then as we come out of the labyrinth and return to our lives, we can celebrate the wisdom of the universe, the one song, universe, one song, as we enter this particular morphic field. Rupert Sheldrake talked about, we're remembering what our DNA did for thousands of years. And we can remember taking care of the next generations. That kind of gives me a lot of hope. I hope it does you. So there are possible ways to ritualize this whole thing. Connect with nature, of course, and maybe create an altar and maybe share a harvest feast, especially with some bread. And you can craft a corn dolly. So you can take the corn husks, or you'll see this isn't made of corn. This is wheat on the lower left hand. And even I think this is wheat, the braided stuff, anyway, you can do that if you're so inclined. You can write a letter of thanks, maybe to Mother Earth, we can pray for continued planetary flourishing. And there's always, I've noticed in every Celtic ritual I've looked at, they always have fire. In this case, it reminds them of Lugh, L-U-G-H, and they would jump the fire. They were doing that back at Bealtaine. And because there's a lot of physical activity, at this time of year, this feast. You can decorate with harvest materials, kind of what I think of as the Thanksgiving stuff. It's very much however you would like to do it. So we're getting close to where I'd like to get us ready for the walk and stop talking here. I am going to light a candle. Oops. Maybe this time I'm lighting it in honor of Father Sky. I'm honoring our Thanksgiving. And I want to read a poem by John O'Donohue. And it's the grace before meals, because this Lammas has a lot to do with the energy I think he describes in this poem. It's not very long. I invite you to get comfortable, maybe, stretch out anything that's obstructing, then you'll be all ready for the walk. And maybe close your eyes. As we begin this meal with grace, as we begin this walk with grace, let us become aware of the memory carried inside us, carried inside the food before us, the quiver of the seed awakening in the earth, unfolding in a trust of roots and slender stems of growth on its voyage toward harvest. The kiss of rain and surge of sun, the innocence of animal soul that never spoke a word, nourished by the earth, to become today our food. The work of all the strangers whose hands prepared it, the privilege of wealth and health that enables us to feast and celebrate. So this is the feast commemorating the harvest of grain. At the equinox in September, there's a commemoration of the harvest of fruit. Think about the apple pies that my family likes that time of year. And then late October, around Halloween, there's the harvest of nuts. And we're getting ready for, in this country, my country, USA, we celebrate Thanksgiving in November. But the ancient Celts did 3 feasts, August, September, and late October. I kind of like that, of building up. and embracing this darker time of year. So this is the music that I have planned, and you will see that it's all on this Thanksgiving theme. The first two are from the Windham Hill collection on the album called Thanksgiving. The first one is Blessings. The second one is The Gathering. That's what we're doing right now. And then we've got George Winston from his December album, but I don't think it sounds like December. It's Thanksgiving. So I hope you agree with me. All right. So what I'm going to do is stop this share, and then I will share some music. This is nice. Did someone else come? Did I say hello? Sheila came. Hello, Sheila. I'm glad you're here.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Hello.
I have to
Thank
go,
you.
sorry.
Hi, Tina. What was that?
Beautiful.
Oh,
Keep
good.
going. It's very beautiful. I'm very much with you in my heart, but I have to go now.
Oh,
I am in Montreal, and I wish you all the best. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Mother Earth deserves everything we can give it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
thanks for coming for as long as you could. Now,
Yeah,
maybe
I don't
the
know.
rest of us want to hold up our labyrinth that we're going to be walking. If you
Yeah.
have one or paper.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Yes, I have it here too.
You're
I have
welcome,
it here
Tina.
too. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a labyrinth close by me, but I can still do this way. Yes, thank you, thank you.
If you have a printer, you can also, the link, the way you got here, right above there, there was a little link where you can pick which labyrinth you want to print. Yeah.
Thank you, thank
Oh,
you. Keep going.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
Tina. You're welcome. So now I'm going to suggest that we actually put our hands on our labyrinth and circle it a few times before, count your blessings before you enter the labyrinth. Before you enter the labyrinth, start counting your blessings. And if you're using paper, you might want to actually make like X's and then leave a space on the way in, and on the way out, make O's or different colors or something like that. So I'm going to play Blessings. Let's see, I have to share. There we go. Have a good one. Am I sharing my screen, Nathan? I've lost you.
No, you're not showing, you're not sharing right now.
All right. Was I?
Not just now, when during the music, no.
During the music, it was fine. Okay, good. Okay. I just want to go back to, yeah, I have one little thing to read to you as we come out of our meditation. And unfortunately, I can't tell you who the author was, but it's called Lammas, Poetry of the Harvest. And they're just a few excerpts I thought you might appreciate. Summer heat is at its peak. The energy of a waning sun. The blessed union's first fruits. Twice providing for mankind, sustenance for the frigid months ahead, and seed for the next rebirth. The sun god surrenders his life freely and without remorse, so his earthly children may survive, never really abandoning us. His spirit consumed in the bread and stored in the planting grain for the many. So goes the one. Yet fear not for the dying. Instead, think towards the resurrection. So this is our time for sharing any thoughts that came to you during the walk, any inspiration, any questions. And then we just have a couple of announcements to make at the end, nothing, long or big. So I'm glad you could make it, Carolyn. Thanks for taking the time. All of you, but I know my friend is busy. Anybody have something to offer? Have
Well, I
any
know-
of I'm sorry, go ahead, Carolyn.
I was gonna say, for me, it's a little bit of the struggle using my phone, which that's where I have my Labyrinth is on my phone. Um, but the challenge is just that it's small enough, even with my readers. It can be sometimes difficult to see now where does that go exactly. So I found myself going, in for quite a while.
Oh, I've been
And then I ended up going back out and I realized, okay, then I went back in and by the time I went in the middle, I felt like, I needed that extra time to get to the middle. I needed all that extra time to get me there. And then it was easier coming back out.
good.
But it is a little challenging because the lines are so small, and you're trying to follow.
Are you using the Labyrinth Journey app? Because the path actually changes color as you walk it. And so it's easier for me at least.
Oh yeah, I did download that. I just remembered I had a picture, so I forgot about the app.
That's okay. Next
thanks.
time.
Yeah. Next time.
Yeah. It's a metaphor for our lives, right? Sometimes when I've been facilitating a walk in person and somebody will come up and say, oh, would you like to walk? I'll help hold space. I almost never do it right when I'm in that situation. And by right, I mean, in the right order and get to the middle and get out and everything. Hello there. So, no worries. There's no one way to walk a labyrinth. Anybody else have something to add? Dan, are you just joining us or were you with us for the walk? You're muted, by the way. Yeah. Sometimes it's challenging. It's okay. While Dan's figuring that out, anybody else?
Okay, I
There
did
you
figure
are.
that out. And
Hey.
no, I didn't join you for the walk. I just got on. I was running late today,
Well,
but
you're
I have
welcome.
used a Labyrinth and I get a lot of spiritual support from it.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. It's been part of my life for about 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It is
You don't
wild.
look that old.
Oh, I am. Trust me. Oh, and Nathan's telling us it'll be posted to our YouTube channel.
So,
Yeah, it'll be put on, there's a playlist for all of the labyrinths that we've done and recorded, and this will just be added to it. So anybody can go back and revisit.
And that way, Dan, you can hear all of Mary Ann's introductory remarks, which were quite good.
Is that on the Creation Spirituality website?
It's on our YouTube channel, and
Okay,
there's an email blast that will come out, the same email that went out with the information for this meeting. I'll send a follow-up with a link to our YouTube.
okay, great. I'll check that out.
Great.
so
Anybody? Yes.
I'm happy to share. I was resting in my chair, so I was too tired to go get my labyrinth. So I just decided to use a very crude labyrinth by just walking my hand on the arm of the recliner. And I've walked labyrinths before, so I did some elaborate walking and, making up my own labyrinth, if you will. But I found myself going to the center quicker than a typical labyrinth would take you. And And it was a gift to be in the center, just resting, because I saw the face of my soul and I heard the voice of my soul.
Congratulations. That sounds like a major accomplishment.
Well, it's gift. It comes from the depths. So
Thank you for
Does any-
sharing, Carol.
thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
may I ask a follow-up question? What was your voice telling you? You said you heard your voice. What was it saying?
I don't know if I stayed with that thought long enough to hear what the voice is saying, but I know I will go back to this and stop with each of those so that I can hear what the voice is saying. Thank you for asking that.
It seems to me that here we are in the dog days of summer and we're going into the darker time of the year, which, as I referred to earlier, the incubating time, the Sabbath time, and maybe the center's a perfect place to dwell for an extended period of time with that kind of energy in mind. Carol, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have time if Susan, do you?
Yes, I just unmuted myself. I guess I need to say, I never know how these things come upon me. Like, I don't know how I'm on here tonight. Like, I got the email and what struck me was the term Lammas. Because I was very kind of entrenched in that at a parish that I once belonged to. And we celebrated Lammas on the first Sunday of August. And it was such a beautiful time and notion. And I feel like it's gone. And to see it on my email, like that's why I saved the email. And like hearing the poetry tonight really did my soul so good. Like I just really needed a little community like this to celebrate those words. And it really meant a lot to me.
Oh, thanks for sharing that. You know, I have a theory that these very old feasts are more important to we modern people than they ever have been. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I am thinking.
Yeah.
It's intriguing to me, though, that you used to be at a place where you celebrated it.
Well, the pastor was Ireland born and raised.
Nice.
So he brought that. He was like into bringing nature and the environment into church, like before this whole environmental thing came about.
Yeah.
So, and he died. So God rest him.
You were very lucky, I think.
Yes, yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Well, this might be a nice time, Nathan, for you to make our announcements. I know you've got it in here.
Yeah, so we talked at the beginning about some of the other events that we have going on, and there's a link here that you can click on to get more information, and that list includes the sign up links for those events. And let's see if I can just
Yeah, I'm trying to do it too.
try to share it. We have too many things open. Oh,
Here's the Canva,
okay, cool. There you go.
but
Wants to verify that you're human. I've often wondered, are you a robot?
You and my husband, probably. There we go.
There we
All
go.
right. So we have another event as soon as Sunday, the first Sunday of every month. There's a beautiful monthly interfaith worship service, 7 p.m. this time, Eastern time. And this topic is going to be interesting. Every one of us a prophet. So if you go to that link, how would they do that, Nathan? Can they copy? If they copy the link in the chat, then it'll take you to this page, and you can
Yes.
click on
And I'll
there.
include this in the follow-up email as well. But yeah, it'll take them to this page, and then you can just click on the links that are underlined.
Good. The 17th, there'll be another Cosmic Vespers. This was offered in response. Some of the people who took the Cosmogenesis certification course with Penny Andrews asked for more. And so this is a pilot program, just like June, July, August. So this is the last of the pilot program. We don't know if it's going to continue or take a different shape or what. But Vespers, you know, is monastic time for prayer before supper. Of course, at my house, it's after supper because it's 7 p.m. But anyway, we open and close with different little rituals, and it's a nice hour and a half together. And then Penny's also involved with Global Kinship, and that's been around a long time. It used to be called Creation in Crisis, and even before that, it was. Do you remember the name, Nathan? Something about elders.
Yeah, elder interviews.
That's it. So I just listened to Margie Abbott, and I can't remember the younger woman's name they were talking about studying with Margaret Wheatley. Boy, it was very, very, very interesting on Thursday. So you have to wait until September for that to come around again. And then we're offering an elective course with Theodore Richards. And he's an interesting fellow, and he's going to have 4 2-hour sessions. And if you do sign up, even if you can't make those Mondays in September, the 9th through the 30th, same time Eastern, 7 p.m., you'll be able to watch it online. I mean, you'll get a recording if you choose to sign up for the class. And then there's a September virtual Labyrinth walk, but I won't be with you because I'm going to be walking the big one this is modeled on. So, but Katie Bull is going to be with you, and she just spent some time with Matthew Fox in Orvieto when he made the pilgrimage to Italy. So that'll be happening 7 p.m. It's a Saturday. It's actually the eve of the September equinox. Nathan, do you want to add anything?
Nope, just one little thing at the bottom is if you haven't signed up to get email updates from us, I presume that you all have because you're here, but if not, you can click on the link at the bottom there and make sure that you're signed up. And then also, if you want to support programs like this one and the others that we've talked about today, there's a link in the chat where you can consider becoming a member of CSC or making a one-time donation if you like.
Givebutter.com. Thank you, Nathan. And you know, we've got a lot more events. There's another fascinating elective that's going to be happening on 3 Thursdays in October. Kaleo and his wife Elise are doing Qigong and haiku writing. And then there'll be another elective after that. And in January, we'll be resuming our certification courses. So if you love creation spirituality, did any of you go to UCS, the University of Creation Spirituality? Well, if you like taking classes, you can even audit it, and then you don't even have to do any homework. It's a great deal for those of us who are retired and probably had it up to here with doing homework. At least I have, but anyway, I still have one more certification course to get through. So that'll be starting again. What we're doing is finishing up the courses that people need who are in the second cohort. And then in the fall next year, we'll start a brand new cohort. So if you're even remotely interested, come and check it out. And I guess they can always email you if they have questions, Nathan.
Yes.
contact@cscommunities.org, and you'll get to Nathan. Thank you. Anybody, any questions or any other comments? I don't mean to cut anybody off. Kathleen, did you want to say something?
Yes, I did. I wanted to thank you so much.
Oh,
It's been a very difficult week for my darling daughter and myself. And just listening to the music was so healing, as well as the poetry. And I have loved Native American spirituality from the time I was a little girl. So I love creation spirituality, and Susan and I did attend the same parish. So Lammas, and it was really wonderful to be a part of that today. So thank you so much.
you're welcome. I hope you can come back for the other ones, the future, you know, the equinox and then the Samhain in October, and bring some friends with you. Bring
Right,
some
Mama.
friends.
My daughter's very connected to all that. So
Wonderful.
it's really lovely to do this with her. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. I mean, it just wouldn't be any fun without you.
Well, Mary Ann, I want you to know she only got the email a half hour before the program started.
Oh, wow. That's what you call change up, right? Well,
Thank you,
please come-
Susan.
Come back. Katie can use your support in September. She hasn't done this for a while, and she's great. She's a nice person. I hope
Love
you
to.
come back too, Dan. Oh, you're muted. We can't hear you. Yeah, I know. It never wants to do what we want it to do. You're still muted. Oh, well. Sorry.
Yeah, I can only ask you to unmute. I can't unmute you, unfortunately.
Oh, well. On my screen, it's the lower left. It says audio. And if I click on the mic, I'll mute myself. There'll be a line going through the mic. So if I click on it again, I'll unmute. But it might be different if you're on a phone. Oh, well. Come back next time. Okay. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful have dog days of summer. Rest and relax. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.